The world knows Jackie Chan as a fearless stuntman who broke many bones but never lost his smile. He jumped off buildings, slid under buses, and kept working even when he was hurt. People saw his strength, but few saw his pain, because not every wound leaves a mark you can see. Over Beijing, the morning sun shines on his golden rooftop. It glows over a house filled with trophies, memories, and quiet rooms. From the outside, it looks like royalty. But inside, it feels like silence. A home built for many, now lived in by one. You can smell tea, incense, and old movie scripts in the air. Every corner shows discipline and hard work. But behind the walls hides loneliness even fame can't fix. 5 bedrooms, yet only one is used. The rest stay empty, like a story half told. This is Jackie Chan's mansion, full of glory, yet heavy with regret. He built it all with his own hands, but what did it cost him? What did he lose while chasing the world's applause? Today we walk past the gates, not just to see where Jackie lives, but to uncover what he's still trying to rebuild. Because before the fame, the fortune, and the $400 million empire, there was a boy, poor, hungry, and fighting for his dream. Jackie Chan was born in 1954 in Hong Kong. He was the son of a cook and a housemaid. As a child, he was called Cannonball because of his endless energy. But that energy soon had a price. At just 6 years old, his parents sent him to the China Drama Academy. It was a Peking opera school led by the strict Master Yu Zhiwan. For 10 years, that place became his whole world. Training began before sunrise and ended long after dark. Pain was part of the lessons. Discipline was the only language. He learned acrobatics before affection. He could do the splits before he learned to say, "I miss you." Work became his refuge. Performance became the only way he knew how to connect. Imagine a small boy, bruised and tired, sleeping on a wooden floor. His parents were far away, working in another country. No bedtime stories, no goodnight kisses, just the sound of rain on the tiles, and the thought, tomorrow starts again. Jackie didn't just learn how to fight, he learned how to hide loneliness by staying too busy to feel it. And that lesson, work as refuge, motion as armor, would shape every relationship he ever had, starting with the one woman who gave up everything to stand beside him. In 1981, Jackie Chan met Joan Lin, a famous Taiwanese actress. She was already a star, known for her talent and calm strength. They fell in love and married quietly in Los Angeles in December 1982. The very next day, their son JC Chan was born. But after that moment of joy, their paths began to separate. Joan left her acting career to care for their child. She became the steady anchor behind Jackie's fast life. She gave up fame for family. She traded her dreams for his success. And she did it without complaint. Their marriage lasted for decades, but they were often worlds apart. Jackie's life became airports, movie sets, and hotels. Joan's life became quiet rooms and waiting by the phone. She was the wife who waited, the mother who raised their son alone. She learned not to ask where Jackie was, because the answer was always the same. On set, mid-stunt, mid-flight. But even loyalty has limits, and every marriage built on sacrifice sends a bill someday. Because while Joan raised their son in silence, Jackie was building an empire, brick by brick, stunt by stunt, and mansion by mansion. Starting with the one place he still calls home, even when no one waits inside. The Beijing villa covers over 5,500 square feet. It has 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and sits inside a private area for China's elite. From outside, it looks like luxury and peace, but inside it feels like discipline and silence. The main living room is huge, with tall ceilings and carved rosewood panels. A jade dragon sculpture stands at the center, strong and still. But there are no family photos on the walls, no pictures of Joan, no sign of JC, only trophies and memories of movies that never rest. In his private office, shelves are filled with old scripts and tiny props from past films. Dozens of small Buddha statues line the desk, each one a lesson from his journey, but none for the people he left behind. His bedroom has soft cream curtains, bamboo floors, and a window that looks over a koi pond. A room built for 2, but lived in by 1. There's also a locked study, a room few have entered. It holds undelivered letters, unsent apologies, and memories he can't face. Tea steam drifts in the afternoon light. The smell of leather scripts and incense fills the air. Outside, koi ripple beneath a red bridge. Inside, only silence answers back. He sometimes hosts young actors here, teaching them, guiding them, sharing lessons and stories. The kind of time he never gave his own son. But Beijing is only one home. Because when you're Jackie Chan, you don't live in one world. You split yourself across continents. And the mansion in Beverly Hills tells a different story. In 1998, Jackie Chan bought a Beverly Hills mansion for about $3 million. He turned it into a 25,000 square foot sanctuary, a place that mixed East and West. The house has French-style design, a grand staircase, hardwood floors, and 3 carved fireplaces. Every wall shines with art, antiques, and pieces of his movie past. But behind all that beauty hides emptiness. In Beijing, he is the disciplined master. In Beverly Hills, he is the Hollywood star. But in both homes, he is still performing. There are 6 bedrooms, large and full of space. Rooms for guests who visit, family who don't, and memories that wait in doorways never crossed. The outdoor pool sparkles under the sun. The courtyard was built for celebration, but it often stays silent. Joan remained in one world. Jackie built another, and somewhere between them, their son JC grew up wondering which father was real. Because one lived for the crowds, and one lived for the camera. And while Jackie filled his homes with art, dragons, and koi ponds, he filled his garage with something else: speed, power, and the illusion of control. Jackie Chan loves speed almost as much as he loves discipline. His car collection is one of the most famous in Asia. Each car tells a small story about who he is. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8, worth about $80,000, was built for stunt driving. It's controlled chaos, just like Jackie himself. The Bentley Mulsanne, around $330,000, shows quiet power. It's the kind of car you drive when you want to feel royal without saying a word. The Lamborghini Murcielago, worth about $350,000, is matte black and made for cinematic entrances. Because even when he's off-screen, the performance never ends. And then there's the Bugatti Veyron, worth nearly $1.9 million. It can reach 253 miles per hour and has 1,001 horsepower. It's one of the few machines too powerful even for Jackie to control. But behind the shine, there's something deeper. Every car is a statement. Every engine is a distraction. Because when you're moving at 253 miles per hour, you don't have time to think about what you left behind. And when the cars weren't enough, Jackie looked higher. To the sea, to the sky, and to places where silence can't reach him. Jackie Chan's empire is made of more than movies. It's built from bravery, pain, and decades of hard work. But it's also built on loneliness. His first yacht, the Jinlong 4601, is 152 feet long and worth about $30 million. It's a floating 5-star home with 6 guest cabins, marble walls, and panoramic windows. But how often does he sail it alone? The Roying 125, worth about $20 million, is his weekend escape. It's for quiet trips into tropical harbors, far from the paparazzi. Then there are his private jets. The Embraer Legacy 500, worth around $20 million, seats 9 people, but often carries 1. The Legacy 650, worth $32 million, flies anywhere in the world. It's perfect for a man whose office is everywhere, and whose home is nowhere. His watch collection is legendary. A Richard Mille RM56 costs over $2 million. Only 5 exist in the world. It sits on a wrist that's been broken more times than he can count. Every object has a story. Every luxury has a price. Because you can own the world's finest watch and still run out of time for the people who matter most. So how much is it all worth? The mansions, the yachts, the empire. Because Jackie's net worth isn't just money, it's choices. Jackie Chan's empire is worth about $400 million. More than $200 million came from his movies, acting, stunts, directing, producing, and profit sharing. About $75 million came from his production companies like JC Group and JCE Films. He made another $50 to $100 million from brand deals with Pepsi, Canon, Mitsubishi, and Vivo. Add $25 to $50 million from toys, cartoons, and video games like Jackie Chan Adventures. He also owns restaurants, real estate, and a chain of Jackie Chan cinemas. It sounds like a perfect success story, but the truth behind it is pain. He earned it the hard way, with broken bones, skull fractures, and injuries that would end most careers. He leaped from rooftops before CGI even existed. Every dollar was paid for in bruises. Every mansion was built on scars. But there's one cost they never write about in Forbes. While he was building the empire, someone else was raising his son, and someone else was wondering if she would ever be enough, because behind the $400 million fortune and decades of loyalty, there's a story Jackie once tried to hide, a mistake he confessed to the world, and a daughter who grew up without his name. In 1999, news broke about Jackie Chan's affair with Elaine Ung, a former Miss Asia. She gave birth to their daughter, Etta Ung Chok Lam. The world was shocked, and for the first time Jackie faced it in public. He said, "I made a mistake." The same mistake many men make. He showed remorse, but kept his distance. He did not become part of Etta's life. No visits, no support, no father-daughter bond. He moved on, but the story never really ended. Years later, in 2017, reporters asked about Etta's sexuality. Jackie only said, "As long as she's happy." It was brief, distant, but also a small sign of peace. Joan forgave him. The public moved on. But Etta grew up with a different name. Her father was everywhere on screen, and nowhere in her life. Imagine being the daughter of one of the most famous men on earth, and knowing he'll never call, never visit, never show up. Not because he can't, but because he chose not to. But here's what the tabloids never said. Inside the locked study in his Beijing mansion, there's a drawer. And inside it, letters, dozens of them, all written to Etta. None ever sent. So why didn't he send them? What was he so afraid of? And is it too late to change the story? Jackie Chan is now 71 years old. The body that once defied gravity now feels the weight of years. His recent films like The Foreigner and Ride On show aging, regret, and resilience, stories that mirror his own life. He now spends time mentoring young actors, running charities, and restoring landmarks in China. But one question still follows him. What happens when the man who lived his whole life in motion finally has to stop? He built mansions for peace, but peace requires stillness. And stillness means facing the truths he ran from. Joan is still there, loyal and patient. JC, their son, has struggled and found his own way. And Etta lives her life without him. Jackie once said, "I'm not a good father. I'm a good actor." But at 71, when the roles end and the stunts stop, what remains? The man, or just the mask? But here's the twist. The secret Jackie has kept all these years isn't about shame. It's about something deeper, something he's only now ready to face. Few people know Jackie Chan's quiet side. He gives millions to disaster relief, schools, and children's hospitals across Asia. His Dragon's Heart Foundation helps poor kids chase education and sports dreams. He funds secret scholarships. No press, no credit, no spotlight. But the real secret mansion isn't made of marble. It's built from the rooms inside him he's kept locked. The letters to Etta never sent. The whispered apologies to Joan. The late calls to JC, trying to rebuild trust. For decades, Jackie performed strength. But the hardest role is vulnerability, saying he was wrong and trying to make it right. Because the true mansion isn't in Beijing or Beverly Hills. It's in the space between who he was and who he's becoming. He's a legend, yes, but can a legend learn to be human again? And is it too late to write a different ending? Here's the truth Jackie Chan never says in interviews, but lives inside every quiet room he owns. The Beijing villa with its koi ponds wasn't built for joy. It was built for atonement, a place to face the silence he once ran from. The Beverly Hills mansion feels more like a museum than a home. The yachts, jets, and watches, they were tokens of guilt, not happiness. Because fame's real cost wasn't broken bones, it was broken trust. Now, at 71, he knows. Greatness demands payment, and he paid with time, love, and presence. The letters to Etta remain unsent, but new ones are being written, honest ones. And as morning light hits his golden rooftop, there's finally a new sound inside his home. Tea poured for two, and the quiet hope that it's not too late to be more than a legend. To be a father, a husband, a man. Jackie Chan's story isn't about fame anymore. It's about forgiveness, family, and second chances. He's still performing, not for cameras, but for Joan, JC, and maybe one day, Etta. If this story touched you, hit like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do you think Jackie can still fix his family, or is it too late?